guys, it is me, Emily, aka Squoostiel, and today we are going to be making the Able Sisters in The Sims 4. So, the sim that auto-generated by The Sims was actually pretty close to what I wanted to do anyway for these girls, so I just decided to keep the sim and just make a couple minor adjustments to it. As you can see, I'm just like pushing and pulling to try and get sort of the vision that I'm doing. And I really only work on this one in terms of adjusting face structure and stuff like that, because of the way the genetic system in The Sims works. You don't really need to, because they're sisters, I didn't feel like I needed to adjust all of them. So I just adjusted Mabel, and then I took everything off just to give myself a little bit more of a clean slate. And then I'm going in with the hair, trying to find a hairstyle. At first, I was going to try to find something spiky, something that kind of resembled the spines, but I soon realized that I did not like any of them, and that they're all kind of ugly. I also realized that that hair, not this one, but the one that was just on before, kind of looks like how Hayley Kiyoko's hair used to look, which is inspiration, question mark? I eventually decided on the hair that she has on now, and now I'm just trying to find something to kind of resemble her apron that she wears in the store. As far as aprons go, the choices were very limited. I remembered at some point in this video that there was a plaid dress, but it didn't have the right colors. So I'm just trying to find something green. I actually looked up Southern fashion for this, because in New Leaf, I forgot which game it was, but in New Leaf, when you leave the Able Sister store, Mabel says, "You come back now," which is something that I have every single time I've been in a very southern person's home or store. They always say, "You come back now." Like, it's just a thing that people say in the South. So I was like, alright, they're southern. I figured, Mabel has that speech pattern. It's not as prevalent in New Horizons, which I kind of miss. I kind of wish that she still said, "You come back now." That was really sweet, and I liked it a lot. I was sort of thinking of sticking with this dress, but I do eventually change it. I'm trying to find sandals here. I think the game froze on me for a second there. So now I'm trying to find something there. I kind of liked that one, and then I decided against it, and you can just sort of see me going through all my options and trying to find anything to resemble her green apron, and I think I just eventually realized that that's not possible. Now, you'd be wondering why I chose to make these girls my first Animal Crossing Sims, and the reason is they are my favorite NPCs in The Sims. They've been there since the beginning. Tom Nook is, I think, the only NPC. Tom Nook and Blathers, I think, are the only NPCs that have been in there as long as these girls have, as consistently as they have. Because the Able Sisters have been in every single game, at least Mabel and Sable. So, and I love them. I love, the little dialogues that you can have with Sable. I love how you can get to know the family. I love the lore behind them. It's just so much fun to get to know them. Here's the dress that I was thinking of, that I remembered existed. Eventually, I at this point gave up on trying to find a full body piece and decided to go for a 2-part ensemble look, which worked out significantly better. But I think my next Sims that I'm going to make are going to be either Tom, Timmy, and Tommy, or Blathers and Celeste. So let me know in the comments which ones you think I should do. But yeah, I love talking to Sable and hearing what she has to say. I wish there was more dialogue that you could have with all the NPCs. I wish that there was a way that you could chat with Mabel a little bit more, because the only times that you really get to talk to Mabel are if it's prompted by your chat with Sable, and I kind of wish that I could chat with Mabel independently as well. And I wish that there was a way to get Label to stay at the island. I get that her whole accessory store kind of got replaced with the fact that the Able Sister store now sells hats and accessories, and the Nooklings sell umbrellas, so there's not really a need for Label to be in the store with them, but I miss seeing her. Like, I miss her, and I miss her sort of demeanor. I miss that, like, as the more you play, the kind of friendlier she got, but she's still kind of aloof. I miss her. And I get that she comes in as an NPC, but I miss her. So now we're just going in, fixing the eyebrows a little bit. At this point, I'm looking at a reference picture just to make sure that she's looking how I want her to. And now we're gonna go in and make Sable. Sable an adult because she is the oldest of the three, and because there's not a middle life stage between young adult and adult, and I didn't want to make Mabel a teen, I decided to make Sable an adult, just so that it would be know that she's the eldest sibling. Now this hairstyle, I knew immediately as soon as I saw it, I was like, this has to be Sable's, because it's got the little clip in the back. It's perfect for someone who's goodness gracious, I cannot speak. It's perfect for someone who is as hardworking as Sable is. So now I'm just, again, working on fine-tuning the details somewhat, but again, I didn't really do all that much adjusting. And then at this point, I realized that I forgot to do skin blends, so I go in and did that real quick, and then we're back. Nope, we're not back. I changed the lip color a couple times, and now we're back to Sable. Okay. I filmed this a couple hours ago, and I had to go to the beach with my dad for Father's Day, so I kind of forgot a lot of what happened and the order that I did things in, but I like to give all my Sims these eyelashes, and all the custom content that I use in this video will be in the description below so that you can go ahead and download them so that you can make these Sims in your game, or just download them straight off the gallery. That way you can have them in your game and it won't be missing anything. So I'm just putting on the eyeshadow, trying to find an eyeshadow that looks good, that matches the orange eyeshadow that she wears in the game. And then I realized that I forgot to give her name. I eventually chose that lemon iced tea eyeshadow, and now we're going to find her a dress. And whenever it pauses, the Sims freezes because my computer is like a 4-year-old laptop. Past Emily, you scrolled right past the dress you want. Nope, go back down. It's infuriating watching my past self, knowing, there it is, you found it, Past Emily. And then again, I'm going in and giving her a pair of sandals, because why not? I think that Sable does not get enough love in the Animal Crossing fandom. I get that she's sort of an NPC that in New Horizons you don't really get much from, except for like patterns for DIY stuff, which for me, I don't really do a lot of DIY stuff, but it's still nice to talk to her. And we are on our last Sim. This is going to be Label, and we are going to go ahead and strip her as well, and go ahead and add in those skin blends, fix the eyelashes, and then go into making this Sim look nice. So I immediately knew that Sable had to have a second pair of, like, had to have like a pair of false lashes, because because Label is just so extra like that. She's so extravagant. She is a queen. And again, the Sims freezes on me, and so I'm going in and giving her that blue eyeshadow that she has in the game. And now we are going to go in with a nice lipstick, a little bit darker than her sister's, but not too extreme. And a highlight, because I feel like she would have a full face on even if in the game she only has eyeshadow and eyeliner on. At this point, I realized that the quill collars match better if Sable has red hair and Label has brown. So I go in and fix that, and then we go back in and find a better hairstyle for Label. I knew that I wanted an updo for her. I at first was thinking of that, and it was that for a while. And then you can see that I do a little bit of adjustments. I want her to be a little bit curvier just because she is in that fashion world, and she's definitely a little bit more, I wouldn't say good looking, because, you know, the genetics, they all three look pretty similar, but she definitely, I think, works more to achieve a certain aesthetic that her sisters don't necessarily have to maintain. And I'm looking at a reference picture for her just because she's not in my town, because she wasn't in my town today. So I needed to look at a reference picture just to get the outfit correct. And she wears a black dress, and I really wanted to get that across. And I couldn't find anything that was like her yellow neckerchief that she wears. But I do eventually find something to sort of allude to it. At this point, I get torn between two different dresses. And then I choose that one just because it's just a little bit classier than the stripes. At first I think that, but I eventually choose this yellow heart necklace to sort of allude to that yellow neckerchief that she wears. And now we're into the traits. So I decided to give them all the creativity, aspiration, as well as all of them got pretty similar traits just because they all sort of have a similar path in life. Label got the self-assured trait because she is. I mean, she went off on her own to start her own label. It's the same reason that she got ambitious. And then she got non-committal because she is just in so many different places in all the different games. She doesn't stay in one place very long. Stable got creative, perfectionist, and loner because, well, for obvious reasons. She's creative, she's a perfectionist, and she doesn't really warm up to you very easily. And then I do switch it to family-oriented because she's very focused on her sisters. I wish we had more traits in The Sims. And then, again, for obvious reasons, Stable is creative, cheerful, and outgoing. So now we're just giving a final close-up, a quick little overview of all the Sims, so you can just see how they look in their final forms. I am super, super proud of how these girls came out, especially considering that they are some of my favorite characters in the entire franchise. And I have been playing since I've been playing since City Folk. My first game was City Folk, and then I got Wild World, New Leaf, and then now New Horizons. And they have consistently been some of my favorite characters throughout the games. And now we are done. Able Sisters, and this will be put up on the gallery for you to go ahead and download if you want to. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys!